that's it. Boom. We're done. Put a bow on it. Package it up. Ship it out the door. We're done, baby. Done. Donezo. All right, maybe not done, but I think you get the idea. It is golden, man. It is good to go. I'm real happy with the system. Took it for its first drive, and I got to tell you, right out of the box, that initial wizard configuration, whatever it is that they give you, they do a hell of a job with it. I mean, the little things, the little idiosyncrasies, the transient kind of on-off throttle between shifts or leaving a light, that kind of stuff. Real smooth. It's set, pretty damn on par right out of the wizard. I mean, I haven't even really messed with a lot of stuff, and it just drives really, really well. I'm very impressed with what they did. So, I mean, that's really it. You saw me explain the what's and the whys. Saw me put it in the car, wire everything up, configure it, start it up, and now drive it. And the system's doing everything I've asked it to do, and can't really ask for a whole lot more than that. I mean, for what the product is and what you're getting for your dollar amount, I think this thing's a winner. I mean, honestly, $1,500, I don't know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be any better or much better at that. I know Holley's obviously been the thing for a while, the Terminator X, and it's with good reason. I mean, Holley, you can't. I don't think you can say enough about what Holley really did, and with the Terminator, that guy right there, what the Terminator X really did, and what it did for the tuning world, tuning community. Holley made a product specifically for guys coming from, Model Ts, hand cranked, nothing but a battery in it, right? Anything more than 2 wires, the spaceship. But they made a system for those guys who were deathly afraid of all things EFI, and they made it very accessible, very easy to jump in, to dive in, get it set up and running decently well. And at the very least, get it to, a tuner or something like that. They can dial it in for them, or if they felt expeditious enough and kind of figure out and learn themselves. That's obviously the group that Haltech, the product that Haltech was aiming for with the Rebel LS was that same Terminator X group. And I mean, it'd be tough. Holley's instruction manual is basically a coloring book. It's any semi-intelligent 8-year-old could set it up and install it, and, reasonably well and get it running. So they set the bar pretty high going after something that worked well with the Terminator series, and I think Haltech really hit the nail on the head with this thing. The install, the information, first of all, right out of the box is great. The detailed wiring schematics and layouts, pins and the colors and all that stuff, just like you get in Holley. The instructions are very clear, front to back. This is not Pro EFI you have to try to figure out on your own. I mean, this is good stuff. Walks you all the way through. Quick start guide, just the same thing. Tons of support out there. Now the Rebel LS, and this is one of those things you have to give some credit to Holley. It's been out there a little bit longer, so there are a ton of Terminator X resources out there online, on Facebook, what have you, and that's more a case of the fact that it's been out for 6 years or something like that. This is obviously a brand new product, so the Haltech groups on Facebook are a lot smaller, but I find them to be extremely helpful. There is a Rebel LS group, which looks like it's pretty new, excuse me, but it's out there. I'm on that one too, and picked up a lot of good information. But yeah, I mean, they went after a Titan, really, with what Holley had an absolute dominant presence in the market for entry level EFI stuff, and I think what you're going to get here with the Haltech is going to be definitely going to be worth looking at. Like I said, for $1,500, I don't know if you're going to get a whole lot better. I really don't. Software is pretty straightforward, easier to understand. I will tell you, Holley's when you're looking at Holley software, it really gives you that Fisher Price My First EFI System impression, and I mean that in a good way. Honestly, I do. It's not a bad thing. What I'm saying is anybody, autistic or not, is going to get in there and be able to look at the spark plug, the fuel injector, the little idle thing, and kind of figure out more or less where I want to go. I know what I want to do. Where do I go to do it? I want to look at fuel adjustments. I'm going to look at the injector. I want to look at spark adjustments. I'm going to look at the little spark plug and all the little drop downs that come down with it, and so on and so forth. It's very straightforward. It's very easy, right? This is a little bit different. This is more of a analytical style. It's this tree system down here. Everything's is written out for you. Honestly, what this reminds me of, even with the color scheme, the whole black and yellow, is Pro EFI. Honestly, it looks a lot more like Pro EFI the way it's laid out, but it's laid out in a very logical way. You know, from your initial setup, your engine configuration, your sensor setups and stuff like that. Then you get into your fuel setup, ignition, so on and so forth. So it's pretty logical. It's pretty straightforward. Again, their wizard does a terrific job of setting up a good base map that'll get you probably started, running, idling pretty well. Your basic point-to-point driving should be, you know, certainly within anyone's ability to go ahead and kind of lay out. You're going to go in there and set up your specifics, your own lambda targets, your own idle speed targets and things like that. But otherwise, it does a really, really good job of interpolating what you want and giving you something that is going to work and get you rolling, either to a dyno for your tuner of choice, or if you're going to do it yourself, you know, to get you up and rolling and being able to start getting the car out there and logging it, kind of like I'm doing here. But yeah, it is definitely it's a different taste than Holley. It's a little bit spicier. It's a little bit on the sriracha side, and that's in a good way. I think there's a ton of data in here. I get the impression just by looking around that there are just a ton of things in here that, not to say that you couldn't do it in Holley, but you might have to, I don't know, either use more of the advanced tables and stuff like that to make it happen, whereas this just has stuff that's already ready to go. Just a matter of, you know, enabling stuff. And a lot of this is built on the NSP software, which is the software they use in their badass R5 system. Unlike Holley, the Terminator X software, similar to the you know, I don't know what you'd call it, the mainline software using Dominator and stuff like that, but the Terminator has a lot of stuff either turned off or inaccessible, stuff like that. This has everything in there. Everything you get with the R5 is just a matter of whether or not you have this, you know, the space for all these nitrous enables and enable electric water pump control, torque modeling, blah 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 blah. It's all here. It's just a matter of whether you have the inputs and outputs for it. It's another thing that I love about the Haltech system is the expandability, right? The CAN expansion hub. So you can plug in your IC7 dash, you can plug in a PD16, which is absolutely badass. Another wideband, which is, you can't do that with the Terminator, which is again really badass with this system. So there's so many little things in here that are offered to you that are, I think, advantageous, especially if you're not necessarily a pro. I'm no pro. I don't do this for a living, but if you're a hobbyist or somebody who has a knack for this kind of stuff and just really, really into this, then you're gonna have a lot more to tinker and play around with and learn here on the Haltech. And that's the reason why I bought this system, just to kind of learn it, get a better feel for it. I've always been a fan of Haltech products. You know, even back when I had dreams of owning a R34 GTR one day. But when they made this package specifically and so easily adaptable and installable on an LS platform, you know, it was a no-brainer. So it's in there. I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I got it up and running. My experience so far has been solid. It's been good. I'm happy with it. I do see a lot of the advantages over a Terminator setup. And that doesn't mean that, you know, there's a lot of things about Terminator that I definitely like too. The advanced tables, I mentioned that a second ago. That's actually a really cool thing that Holley has that I don't necessarily see a version of that in Haltech. I'm sure it probably exists somewhere in the background and all the Haltech heroes are laughing at me right now. But, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff on here that, like I said, anybody who deals with Haltech daily probably knows and, you know, thinks I'm an idiot. Joke's on you, pal. I already know I'm an idiot. But I'll figure it out as I'm playing around with it. There's a lot of stuff in here, tons of stuff to learn. I'm drinking from a fire hose. But the overall experience has been terrific. I like it. Now I'm going to get to drive the car some more and kind of iron out the fuel trims a little bit more and start slowly but surely laying into it and just noting all the controls, all the data, and, you know, ironing out a really good overall well-performing package. That's the idea. And if the experience goes the way I think it will, or I hope it will, then chances are this guy is going to end up on an R3 itself. So, I don't know. We'll see. There's a little ways to go between now and here, but they're there and here and whatever. You get the idea. Do my best Biden impersonation. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it. I'll probably make another video down the line once I get some more time under my belt and get this thing running and rolling and, you know, figuring out what I've done right, what I've done wrong, everywhere I've stubbed my toe, so you can not do that. But in the meantime, hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you soon.